What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Rob's Gaming Table. Today on the table we have another Game of Thrones the card game 2nd edition tournament video for you, brought to you by these awesome supporters of Rob's Gaming Table that donate at patreon.com/Rob's Gaming Table. You can help support the channel too by clicking the link in the description below. We got Carly playing Targaryens, Matt playing Targ HRD. We've seen Matt in a couple matches already. We saw Carly in an earlier match in the series. If you haven't watched those previous matches, go back and check those out in the playlist at Rob's Gaming Table on YouTube before you watch this one to see how these decks got here to the finals of the Just Games Rochester, New York Sword Championship 2018. For setup, we have a Drogon Second Sons on Illyria's Estate and a Flea Bottom on the left for the Targaryen side of things. And on the other side, we have a Freedmen, looks like Plaza Pride, Plaza Punishment, and a Gates of the Moon for the Targ HRD side of things. If you guys are new here, I appreciate subscribing. It's free, helps out the channel. If you want to be notified when the future videos go up of the 3 other tournaments that are coming up on the channel for Game of Thrones, you can hit the alarm bell button to be notified for every video that gets posted or when we go live. Also check out our Gloomhaven playthroughs going on right now on YouTube, where we're playing through the campaign of that. #1 board game on Board Game Geek of all time right now. So yeah, it's a fun game. All right, so let's get to it here. So Carly here knocked out Kevin Austin in the top 4, and Matt on the right knocked out myself in the top 4. So they stopped the 2 invaders, 2 of the invaders that jumped over the wall from Canada, came down to Rochester. As usual, every year we come down a couple times, try to steal all their prizes, and this time we were thwarted. They held us off, and now they must fight amongst themselves for the crown here. So we got Late Summer Feast there. Carly's going first, counting coppers on the other side. Drogon dupe, Astapor with a dupe, loaded up with 4 gold, just like that.
She did it to me earlier.
Oh, and they played earlier in the Swiss. So
We played a mirror match. I was like, we had the same.
yeah, sounds like it wasn't a good mirror match earlier, but here they are for the rematch for the title. Grab your popcorn, grab your drinks. It's gonna be a long one here. Not too long, just a little longer than the normal videos. But they do have a 120-minute time limit on the finals for a Sword Championship, so they're allowed to use up to the 2 hours if they'd like. So they may take it a little slow, a little more careful, a little more calculated than normal. And we have Grey Worm. So both decks very heavily focused on the burn. Playing the burn events, playing the Astapors. We got Plaza of Punishment out there. We got Grey Worm. I know Unsullieds are floating around in those decks too, I'm pretty sure. At least in Matt's deck. So they have a good mix of ways of taking down your strength and toasting your characters. So Flea Bottom and Isle of Ravens now in play on the right-hand side there for the Targ HRD player, Matt. So 1 gold saved on the left, looks like 2 gold saved on the right. That's it for marshalling. Not much in the way of characters on the right-hand side of things. And Grey Worm coming in on the intrigue. She's looking to get out of that 5 reserve off Late Summer Feast with her range trigger, I'm sure, and also get out of that given card draw away off the plot reaction there.
Force reaction, you may draw a card.
So card draw there off the force reaction. Now we have range triggered. Curious, what do you do here in round 1 with that? I don't think you really want to blow your kneel or your stand plots at this point, but who knows? Ferris Riddle and the Count of Coppers, duh, that makes sense.
It's the same script.
Matt's saying she's following the same script. Here we go. And we know Matt opens double counting coppers in the last couple matches that we've seen him in this video series.
Yeah, because he reduced and claimed.
So that was unopposed due to Grey Worm's ability, and claim as a second Sons, which I'm sure Matt's not too sad about seeing that in his discard pile here, as he has gold saved and Flea Bottom still standing.
She has infinitely, yeah. Way more.
I'll do. Can I read this real quick?
I think she's debating here doing a military of 4 with Drogon.
I'll do.
Or does she save that until she knows second Sons are coming into play to attack her after? So that's an unopposed mill. Kills the freedmen.
You don't have a discard pile.
So I was sitting there at the side of this match trying to make sure the camera doesn't die like it did in the other top 4 game. But I remember watching this. There is going to be a spoiler warning. A lot of checking your opponent's discard pile, since they both have Flea Bottom out there and they seem to keep saving money. There's going to be a lot of them checking it back and forth constantly during each round. It's going to be some great viewing, I'm sure. So second Son's coming in off Flea Bottom. I don't know what type of challenge he's doing, but of course, Astapor used to reduce by 4 strength, and the other second Son's on the other side of the board, jumping in front of that, blocking it fully. And don't forget, we got Plaza of Pride on Matt's side of the board there. He could stand that second Son's up and get a second challenge out of them by seeding the discard pile even more.
The end of that challenge.
Yep.
Okay.
So we just sped the video up a little there. We had a rules question there about the Targ event returning a character back to hand, and when second Sons triggers, and when Flea Bottom's effect wears off, and all that business. So I just cut that out there. But we're all good now. So I think Plaza of Pride was used there to stand the second Sons. Now the second Sons is coming in on a second challenge. And of course, everything's knelt out on the other side of the board. She does have a gold. She does have Flea Bottom. I'm not sure what she has in the discard pile, if anything, but it looks like that goes unopposed. Unopposed power challenge there. And then there go the second Sons into the discard piles. And Isle of Ravens doing some work here, putting that second Sons into Carly's deck, shuffling it up. Will that be the difference maker? That Isle of Ravens, will that be the key? He said he put it in there for anti-Flea Bottom tech. I think that's not a bad call.
I'm at reserve. Out of game. You have nothing on your board. Great. Awesome. Love it.
So are we going to see the second turn counting coppers here that Matt did in the last couple times we saw him? Seems like his game plan. Yep, looks like that's what he's holding in hand there.
Aren't they good recently?
Yeah, they're good. Yeah. Playing good.
And yeah, we have double counting coppers.
8 to 18, yikes. I'm going first.
And it sounds like Carly on the left there chose Matt to go first on the right. They both load their hands up here from counting coppers and the draw phase. And it looks like Matt's working with 4 gold there with 2 off counting coppers, 2 off Gates of the Moon. And Carly will be working with, should have 3 because of Gates of the Moon, giving her a +1 bump.
Yeah, that shit was hilarious.
So Shadow Black Lane marshaled out here. And we see the location spread happening for Matt over here, as we saw in the top 4 game. Going real wide on the locations.
Oh, okay. So you're supposed to have 3 gold? Alright. I get 3 because of your thing.
Yep.
Um,
So she does take her 3 gold. Remembers the Gates of the Moon there. She's going to reduce with the Illyrio's Estate. A Targ card puts in a Targ Loyalist. And she spends 1 for a second Great Hall. And there's Viserys Targaryen to deal with attachments. And it looks like Carly's done her marshalling, sits on 2 gold. And it looks like Matt put no characters in play. He's sitting on 3 gold over there. And he spends 1. We get a flea bottom trigger right off the bat for the Second Sons. And he's going to do a power challenge of 6. I don't know if he has the Quotho in hand here to drop into play yet. Or maybe he's trying to bait the Astapor now. And we just have a solo block here with the Targ Loyalist, jump block of 1. And he's going to be able to get a Plaza punishment trigger off here. Might as well kill Viserys Targaryen now while you can. He's unique, he's standing. Can send him to the discard or the dead pile instead of the discard pile, so he can't recur himself. Unless she's playing close call. Or I guess technically Fire and Blood. I think, does that not get a unique target character out of the dead pile into the deck? But if it's a dragon you put into play, or is it to the discard pile? I don't remember what exactly it does, but I believe that's another way Targ can get these uniques out of the dead pile. So Viserys is the target, makes sense. So he's going to stand for Plaza of Pride, with Plaza of Pride by chucking a Freedmen to stand the Second Sons.
If I win a challenge by 5, yeah, I meant to do that during that challenge.
Yeah, he forgot to trigger Plaza earlier. He just said if he did it during the challenge to stand him, he would have had the Freedmen in the discard pile to win the challenge by 5, and then he could have dropped them into play. But, I mean, during those action windows, Carly could have also noticed that was a thing and then used Astapor there to prevent that. So she does use Astapor here to reduce the Second Sons down to 4 and defend with Drogon to fully block. She doesn't want to deal with the Freedmen coming in play. She doesn't want to deal with Claim. So she just stuffs it. And now she's going to do her own Intrigue, coming in on the attack with Grey Worm. And it looks like we may have a range trigger here. Yep, it is the stand plot. So that goes unopposed, of course. We get Claim, which is Fire and Blood. We're just talking about that event. Yeah, I think it's if it's Hatchling, it goes into play, but it could be a Targ character. Anyways, then we have Grey Worm standing up here using the plot, Power Behind the Throne, and coming in on the military challenge and killing the Second Sons. When you can kill his second sons, you got to do it. Feels good. But we know he has another one in there, and he throws another one in there, discarding for taxation.
I was gonna say, I'm not sure if I'm done yet.
Oh
but
shit!
it's
Sorry,
okay.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I
He's just rushing on to taxation there. But they may not be at that point yet, according to Carly.
You said you got one more in there, and mine went there, and I was like, all right, yep, you're good. Anything else? You know, I got a card. Damn it.
You can discard another one if you want.
I can, I guess. So let's see.
Okay. I might do something actually.
Sure.
I'm gonna play Waking the Dragon to stand and do a power.
I don't like it. How many cards you got? A bunch of cards.
1,
Don't
2,
you?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I gotta discard some stuff. Okay, so I pose one coin.
So she gets an unopposed power challenge through there, gets a couple power to that.
Now at the end of the phase, this returns to my hand.
Oh, is that what that?
And of course, the
Yeah,
Targ loyalist will go back to hand.
Bring it back to my hand
Yep.
before you could discard it.
Yep.
And we tie for Dom.
Yep.
2, you're 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And did you want to? Are you discarding down to reserve?
Discard. Thank you for reminding me.
Are you sure?
Discard down to
That's not the
reserve.
one you want.
One of these two. Well, which one? I guess we'll do this one.
So close call into a march to the wall.
It's,
So March gets rid of Drogon.
or
You
no,
get to choose
that's
who
my
goes
choice. I'm
first.
sorry,
Yeah.
Matt. You can go first.
Okay, so I'll mark.
So Carly's forced to go first here, with Matt winning March to the wall, or with March to the wall.
And draw a card.
Sure thing. Draw some-
And she draws a card there off close call. I'm not sure who she moved, but I think it was Viserys.
Okay, am I going first?
Mhm.
Okay. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Thunk.
And there is a Plaza of Pride on the other side, trying to even things out here.
Okay, 1,
Third Great Hall marshaled out for Carly. Oh, man.
5, 6.
Oh, man. They're going down like that. There's Drogo. So she's going to get 2 military challenges off. Plus, he's a renowned body, so this might speed things up here. She is in the lead right now, 5-1.
Okay, 3.
And we got Rygel. And over to Matt for his marshalling. And we have a Targ loyalist. And we got Viserion in play there with the dupe. And now we have some discard pile checking. Looking to see if there's anything for Isle of Ravens he wants to move out of there.
There's a bunch in there.
There is a bunch in there.
She's got a couple Drogons in there. She's got Viserys. I think it's Viserys you move out in that case.
I gotta commit 2 turns to get
So he's going to start working on the Drogon copies with Isle of Ravens, shuffling it back in the deck. And a triplicated Rygel there. Also put into play. That's what happens when you start off with 2 cannon coppers. You draw into tons of stuff. Get some dupes going. See a Consuming Flames in hand. At least one. Looks like 2, actually. For Matt there on the right. So I think it's Carly's challenges now on the left. So she's going to sit and assess the board.
Oh my god. I've been digging. It's the only card I'm looking for and is not getting it.
So she's going to start with an intrigue challenge here with Grey Worm. 5 strength to start. Having those dupes on those dragons there, though, kind of make Khal Drogo's military challenges the two that can be done because of his ability. Not the greatest, but I mean, it wouldn't take long to drill through those with doing 2 military challenges a turn with your Astapor to back you up and your Plaza of Pride to stand. So he's going to defend with Rygel, but Grey Worm basically reduces his strength.
Or I can make it do it. Yeah, done. Totally forgot about it.
Trigger Rain.
So we're going to get a range trigger here, of course. Grey Worm, great in the range deck.
Oh, I forgot he can do that.
Carly giggling as glee here as she's making Matt look silly.
It's when he's attacking.
When attacking, yeah.
And wheels within wheels.
Oh, you get another intrigue?
No,
Oh, no,
I get
search
to
your deck
search.
for
Yeah.
top 10 then.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
And she's looking for an event.
None?
And it's a whiff.
Really? There were 0?
0.
She whiffed, complete whiff. Didn't want to leave any in there. She just didn't see any. That's what it sounds like.
They'll be there now.
No, they're not in her hand at least.
Unopposed.
And grabs an Unsullied on the claim, gets an unopposed power.
So clean.
And here we go, Plaza of Pride.
Second Sons.
Second Sons was seated in the discard pile there. And Grey Worm is back up.
And I will.
And she's going to Flea Bottom right away, too. Get Second Sons in. Remember that Isle of Raven's already been used. And we got a military here with the Second Sons for 6.
Yeah, really. Yikes. Military, huh? You got one gold. Unopposed.
So no defenders on that military. Goes unopposed. Gets a copy of Rygel to the discard pile. Second military here with Grey Worm. That'll go unopposed. Kills the Targ Loyalist. It's another unopposed power. I think you do the power challenge with Khal Drogo. I mean, you have a second son that can jump in and block it, but I mean, hey, if that's happening on the defense, that's not too bad. And she's already used her Plaza Pride, so she's not able to stand her second sons. But Plaza Punishment does work on the defense also.
Spend the gold to get the boys.
So second son's coming in off the flea bottom on the other side. I think it's over to Matt for his challenges now. I think Carly's passed. Oh, she does have Astapor. Never mind. What am I thinking? She has Astapor, so she's going to play defensively with it, I guess, instead of being offensive. Trying to reach that power total faster. But I mean, then if you leave it unopposed power coming back, he just steals it anyway.
Power challenge.
So power challenge of 6 with the second sons. And here we go, Astapor reducing strength. Khal Drogo blocking for 5. So 2 to 5, and Khal Drogo wins on the defense. But the issue is we know Matt is playing Velardo Harris based on the previous videos. So he's going to put Carly in a tough situation keeping Khal Drogo or Grey Worm. I mean, you guys might not think it's a tough decision, but in a range deck, I think it is actually. Grey Worm's been doing work here, helping the range triggers get off there. I mean, Khal Drogo does get you the extra challenge. He does have Renown. He'll have power on him. So it is a tough call. So Intrigue with Rygel. 3 strength. And we got Rygel on the other side, blocking the unopposed. And we're going to have a Shadow Black trigger. Gets rid of Quotho. Wow, what a hit. What a hit. Carly is not impressed with that hit. Oh, man. Vicious Intrigue.
What, for me? Just in general.
Hasn't happened in a while. Yeah.
Oh, sure.
And he grabs a Dracarys with the Shadow Black lane.
Glad you can find your
My burn and
burn,
stuff.
'cause I can't.
It's in there somewhere.
He's got Astapor. I'm going to be running out of turns here soon enough.
Soon. Hopefully soon. Shuffle up, see if we can get Aspar at the top. Let's do a military challenge.
And now military challenge. That'll go. I would assume unopposed now that we know Quotho is gone, unless she has another copy. But I think she would have to go to an empty hand doing that.
Do to me.
Yeah,
And it's unopposed. We got Rygel dying for claim.
that's it.
I have 1 coin.
Got it.
And dominance goes to Carly, the Targaryen's player on the left.
Have a play. And reserve. Oh, I didn't know you had that.
Didn't play it.
Second game, I was like, I don't give a fuck.
I know. That was my last spot. The first
Yeah,
time
I know. I was like, I didn't see one fly. I don't know what it could be, but
I know.
There it
There's
is.
like the other one, so it's like,
Who goes first here?
you can go first.
Okay, thanks.
So we have Blood of the Dragon into Valor. So Blood of the Dragon obviously not affecting the dragons on the board. They're all duped up, but they get saved with their dupes, obviously, from Valor. And I did not know Matt was playing a Valar Morghulis. I forgot about that. I'm pretty sure he's playing Valardo Harris. I'm pretty sure. Maybe he's playing both. I wouldn't see why not in this deck. Just like that, Grey Worm and Khal Drogo are no more. Until Carly gets around to that close call.
Sorry, I'm going to Isle of Ravens.
Yep.
And Second Sons is the target of an Isle of Ravens.
Isle of
He
Ravens.
loves his ravens right now.
I do.
love ravens.
You got a whole island of them. Like fucking Mike Tyson.
And one tiger.
And one time.
Yeah, it looks like Carly's going first here. All three Great Halls, Leo's Estate, and Daenerys Targaryen has made an appearance. And she sits on 3. Whoa. She does have some flea bottom targets. At least, I think, still a copy of Drogon. I think Viserys Targaryen's in there. Maybe even a Targ loyalist.
So, I know that. Do they contradict? Well, non-dragon.
Like if you, yeah,
So if I like say I burn a dragon, I mean that's what we're talking about.
right.
If I burn a dragon, it
depends
says
if-
non-dragon.
Yeah,
So like if I brought it down to 0 with say like a dragon is no slave, it doesn't
yeah,
die.
it wouldn't die,
I wouldn't
right?
say it, no.
Yeah.
But if it says on the event that it is killed, it would
Yeah.
die, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, for
Yeah,
sure,
for
for
sure.
sure.
Dracarys, it
Yeah,
would
yeah,
die,
yeah.
but
Okay,
if-
okay,
yeah,
okay.
dragon-
So I think Carly's question, I was just wondering.
Like if I asked it for one of your dragons, it doesn't die. It's just strength 0. Because it's
Correct.
a dragon character.
Yeah, she's basically just trying to kill dragons. Wondering if she needs Dracarys for that, or if Astapor with the blood of the dragon works to kill a dragon. But I don't think it does. I think that's what we came to the conclusion there. But if we're wrong, feel free to leave comments below and let us know, and let future viewers of these videos know if you guys notice anything out of whack. I do get rules wrong. I do get cards wrong. I don't know all the cards. I'll admit it. I look up what I can while I'm voicing it over. But I do appreciate you guys leaving comments when I miss like the fine details of certain cards. Like I learned that Queen's Man, I guess, cannot discard a character out of hand, just any other card. So I appreciate the commenter that left that. That's something new that I did not know. I have not played with them yet, so I don't know.
No challenges. I don't think so.
Secret knock.
Password and secret knock. Double layer security.
Okay. 1 for fire and blood.
So 1 gold for Fire and Blood,
How many discard piles do you need?
and we get Rhaegal back in play out of the dead pile to help with Dany, give her some stand ability, and maybe just die for claim to help keep her alive. So a military with Rhaegal here for 3. She's not too worried since Matt has no claim because of Valor. She's going to go aggressive here.
Spend 1 on consume.
So he uses a turning ground, pays 1 gold, gets the Consuming Flames to kill Rhaegal.
Oh yeah.
And I point out there that, hey, buddy, you got to pay some cards for that. And he throws a Storm Crows in the discard pile.
I did. I paid 1 and I know.
Oh right. Okay.
The Storm Crows is terrible. I don't know why I was in this deck.
It's a great card.
It's so bad.
It's good for discard.
I'll pay 1.
It's great.
It's like-
If you have
that was
to
the
get
point
rid
I was
of a
trying to
useless card, it's perfect for that.
I can't do that yet. Okay. There you go. Okay. What do I
So she's going to spend a gold for Flea Bottom, putting Drogon in play. Now Danny has Renown.
Get out of here.
Go.
Get out of here.
Go. Go.
See, you can make him tilt. Just start making fun of him.
You're playing a March,
He is right.
right?
He is
Down
right.
back.
I messed up with
I
that
played-
dragon, but it's
I believe
okay.
in March.
So I will. What plot are we on?
This is 4, I believe. Yeah.
Should probably actually change your name in my phone to Matt Ronenberg now. Matt Meltdown.
That still happens.
I heard it a couple times.
Yeah, playing Tom, that was
Yeah.
brutal.
I don't want to deal. I know you have a Dracarys. I saw you pull a Dracarys. Okay, so I'm not going to do
So it sounds like Carly's passing. She knows Matt's got a Dracarys in hand.
because I'm a moron.
Oh, and I think Matt went first, actually, so he has no challenges. He passed on the challenges.
Dominance, and you have more, so you have dominance.
And Dominus does go to Matt on the right there.
Take your time. Still at least an hour.
still.
Yeah, take your time. Think it through.
I know, I wasn't thinking. That's a problem.
Yeah, take your time.
That's fine.
Both of you. Take your time.
Thanks.
That's fine. We're good.
Most definitely Simon's
Oh,
fault.
definitely.
Can I see your discard pile?
You may. Can I see your discount?
So they look through each other's discard piles here. Common theme of this match. But the Isle of Ravens, Flea Bottoms. Makes sense. So we see Matt's plot tech there. He's looking at a trade routes. Nothing burns like the cold. And I think Velardo Harris. Looks like he's going trade routes here, which is it's going to pay off big. Both players having the wall of locations there.
Scatters are better than sailing.
I like that. I had some silly choices of thing.
We got Annals of Castle Black into trade routes.
You're going to get a lot from me.
Who's going first?
I assume Annals of Castle Black's usually after she's played a bunch of burn events, but doesn't look like it's come through in this game. I don't think she's really played any, so.
14.
But when either player plays an event, it's going to have to leave play. Oh, she's got Fire and Blood in there. At least she can get a dragon back in play.
I do. Let's see.
I think she can also do the stand one. You stand a character, put it back to hand. So she's got some events in there.
People leaving in my house. 15, 16, 17. Damn it. 'Cause this is my 18th. My Gen Con.
That's a hog. It's called a breaker.
A breaker, yeah. This is a very heavy breaker. Are metal breakers tournament legal? Draw 2, yes.
So it looks like Matt's got 18 gold there to work with. I don't know if he's going first or second here. Looks like he did lose initiative, so Carly's made him go first. He's looking through his discard pile there to see what he's going to be able to jump into play with Flea Bottom. And what events he can play out of the discard pile since Annals Castle Black is flipped. But yeah, he's got a Target Loyalist coming in here.
Those are the two classic cards I want to ask you.
And only 1 gold for that. He's got Viserys Targaryen coming in with a duplicate. And that's all it's going to be. He's going to pass it over to Carly. And she's got 5 to work with, plus her Lero's Estate and 3 Great Halls. So Matt playing tons of econ there, has tons of gold, but not really much to play. Maybe he's hoping on a good top deck there. He's hoping to find Daenerys of his own and get her in play. But it doesn't look like that happened.
Yeah, Tyro Reigns.
He's going to win dominance, though, I would assume. And we got more discard pile searching here. Trying to see what's in there on each side to know what you're going to marshal, what you have to expect in the challenges phase.
Sounds like a lot of things could happen right now.
So many things.
So much things.
And while we wait for them to figure out what they're going to marshal here, what they're going to do based on discard pile searching, make sure you hit that subscribe button, slap the like button, leave a comment below. Also share these videos on social media. And if you're in a giving mood and like to donate to the channel, offset the cost of the work, the traveling, the time spent on these videos, you can throw a tip my way by clicking the link in the description below and donating over at patreon.com/Rob's Gaming Table. Any amounts appreciated. Thank you to everyone who's donated so far. It's all helped. It's all gone into the channel. Extra cameras, extra battery packs, extra lighting, extra tripods, extra tournament entries, extra gas, traveling to tournaments, all that kind of stuff. It all helps. It all motivates me to keep doing it. So thank you very much. Much appreciated. But thank you guys just for watching. That means a ton.
I think several of us haven't played in like 6 months.
I have no.
So actually, Matt's going to pass his challenges here. Looks like Carly marshaled nothing. She's going to sit on the cards in her hand. Maybe she needs that money to play some events since she's got Annals of Castle Black out there. Maybe she's drawn into some burn events. Maybe she wants to play the ones in her discard pile. But Matt's going to pass. Just going to play defensively. He's got Dracarys in hand. We know he's got Dragon standing. He kneels Tourney Ground as an action. Like he really needs to. And Fire and Blood removed from the game there to play to bring in Rhaegal from the dead pile. And another discard pile check here.
Three.
Alright, what am I gonna play this then? Start gets bad, so I don't have my default. It's not a
I'll make start pretty good.
alright, I'm with you.
Stay in touch. Work on do this. Watch the cards come out in packs. Because people get caught off guard. They write off factions, like say Bear, for example.
So she's able to do 2 challenges with Danny. If she can win, she can stand Danny back up. The problem is, I'm sure she fears Danny getting burned to the ground. And also with Flea Bottom still standing on the other side, we know there's Second Sons in Matt's discard pile he's able to bring into play to help defend. Obviously not against an Intrigue, though. Maybe Intrigue's what you want to do with Danny first. But does she have a way to protect Danny from burn? I don't see it. You got to be careful in those power challenges. Plaza Punishment.
It's back, man.
So Carly might be afraid to do any challenges here for the fear of losing more characters. She's kind of stalled, sitting at 9 power. Matt's up to 3. She's still in a commanding lead, but she goes too aggressive. She may crumble, and Matt may be able to take advantage and try to push back and maybe make a comeback here. I am surprised Matt didn't try to just do a power challenge of his own. But I guess he could win the power on the defense and still do Plaza Punishment. So an Intrigue, 8 strength. She's looking to do a range trigger here. And Matt looks at his hand of 3 cards. 2 burn cards in there, Consuming Flames and a Dracarys. So Dracarys paid for with the Turning Grounds. And Viserion knelt. And Dracarys leaves the game. So that brings her down to 1. So now her chance for an action here.
4. I have an action.
Sure.
I'd like to kneel.
So she's going to do Plaza Pride to stand Danny, I would think. That doesn't buff Danny's strength up at all. Oh, Rygal's going to stand up. Second Son's discarded to get them in the discard pile. Isle of Ravens knelt right away to get rid of that Second Son's. Matt's on top of it. Carly's not impressed. We know Matt's got a Consuming Flames in his discard pile that he can play from there. +1 in his hand. So he's going to have no problem burning her board down here, I'd assume.
Turn to duel.
Okay. Yeah, we'll be done by then.
I thought Danny was immune to fire, but it doesn't appear so.
Oh, really? What
I was gonna pick one up too.
Oh, play that?
The newest.
Oh, newest chapter. Back.
So Consuming Flames, burning Danny down there. I think the event was used to stand her up there, try to return her back to hand, but she's not going to live that long to see that happen.
It's gotta be Targaryen.
It's gotta be a Targaryen
It's gotta
card.
be Targaryen.
So he tried to use Consuming Flames, but cannot. I don't think he has a target card to discard to pay for it.
Right, it's just-
Yeah, it's gonna be Targaryen card.
It's not.
It's Targaryen.
So he discards another Consuming Flames to pay for it, and that gets removed from the game also.
Worth it.
But to get rid of Danny, you do what you got to do.
So we're still, I have intrigue for 3.
I do have an entry.
So the intrigue challenge is still going on here. 3 strength left with Rygal.
What cards you got in here?
I have 1.
I think Matt's sitting on 1 card left in hand. He's about to go down to nothing.
I'll send you my email. You can send it to me. Alright. Are you on Facebook? Yeah. You should just put it on Facebook. Sure.
Flea bottoms.
Looks like he's going to play Flea Bottom here to bring something into play.
Oh, look, JJ Burr. The 9-cold one is a bunch of vegan stuff they showed up.
Looks like he's debating on a Second Sons, but it might be a Freedman. Actually, he's going to be a Freedman.
I just sent you. Alright, sweet. It was pretty easy. I just typed in JJ.
He's going to block with 2 so that Astapor doesn't make it unopposed. He's trying to slow Carly down from power gain here.
I'll let you do that, sorry. Yeah.
The one that you.
Intrigue.
9 gold. Oh, that you draw cards? If, or they draw cards?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
they lose that one.
Okay. 2.
So she's going to pay 2.
Try. Consuming.
She's going to Consuming Flames. Actually, the Freedmen. We're still in the same challenge here, looks like.
I will.
And he's going to chuck for Plaza Pride, get rid of the Price's War to stand up Rygal.
So, oh, no, it's an event.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So, I still,
Of course, that Price of War leaving play due to Annals Castle Black.
okay, we did it. We did it, man!
And they finish the Intrigue Challenge. No claim. Carly wins. Not unopposed.
Okay. Okay.
And she's going to do a flea bottom here.
I will.
So does she keep going? She might as well, since she knows Matt has no cards left in hand. And Viserys is in play using flea bottom. And we have a power challenge of 1. It's going to get defended by 2. Does she want to use Astapor now? You might as well. So you win the power challenge. She should be good on the military challenge. She is going to use Astapor. So it will be defended. She should win the power challenge here, 1-1. Not sure why. Oh, she's going to play Dracarys on Viserys Targaryen there, actually. And Burn going for the unopposed. And she's up to 11. That's down to 2.
Your turn just, or you
Already went?
did. Okay, so you have done. This guy goes on the bottom. Like,
And Viserys goes to the bottom of the deck because of flea bottom. And dominance, of course, goes to Matt. And I think that was round 5, going on to round 6 here. See, Matt's got Nothing Burns Like the Cold and Velardo Harris left. And it's Valor on Carly's side into Velardo, or into, sorry, Nothing Burns Like the Cold. So all the characters will die. So cleared board again. So they each got to get rid of an unlimited location, I think, in this situation. No attachments out there.
and who's going first?
So,
So Turning Grounds and Plaza of Pride were the targets. Let's see what Matt's top deck was like. So looks like Carly's going first. She's got no claim right now. Can she get someone to win an entry challenge to get a range trigger going? Looks like Viserion's paid for by 2 Great Halls. Then we have Viserys Targaryen's back.
Sit on 3.
And saves 3 gold. Passes over to Matt.
you got 1 card.
I have 1 card.
It's the best card. The eco card. The Trump of cards.
So he gets a Rose Road and
Yeah.
what is the other card?
You can go get it if you want, but the wall, so get in the way.
Let's shuffle in that last little guy you got there.
So Targ Loyalist getting shuffled in from Isle of Ravens. So she's got no flea bottom targets right now. And Drogon marshaled in there.
That y'all.
I'm not sure. Just thinking here, the choice I might have made with the Nothing Burns Like the Cold, I might have got rid of Flea Bottom over Plaza of Pride. But maybe she thought she had like minimal cards. Maybe I think the stand would have been better than trying to bring in a guy with Flea Bottom, considering the Isle of Ravens has been doing such work over there. But then again, I don't know what she has in her hand. Maybe she's got a good target to just throw in there. Maybe she's hoping she loses the intrigue, and then she's sitting on some juicy character in hand that she can put in there for a Flea Bottom target after Isle of Ravens is knelt. But yeah, let me know what you guys would do there. I think I would have kept the Plaza of Pride just for the extra stand to do that additional challenge, try to close the game out and go for the win as fast as possible. Then again, I don't know how many copies she's running of each of those locations and how likely it is she's to see the other one back again, but I think Carly's past challenges. And Matt's going now. He's flea bottoming in a second sun surprise. And I think he's going for a power challenge here of 6. Now of 2 with Astapor reducing by 4. And a 3 block with Viserys and a Viserion.
You like how we both keep looking? Like, what do I got over there?
Something will
Nothing. Got,
got 2 hours.
got nothing over here.
So keep checking.
Insane.
Something will appear there. You keep looking. Feel the dream specs.
Eventually, yeah.
Yeah. Like, oh, there's a card stuck together. Oh, there it is.
And we got a military here of 4 with Drogon. And that'll go unopposed. Looks like it's going to kill Viserys. And yes, it does. Viserys is dead. And second sun's going away at the end of the phase. And dominance going to Carly. Sitting at 12 power, I believe. Yeah, looks like 12. Just needs 3 more to close it out here. And Matt just needs 11. But it's not over yet. We got March, though, hitting herself. Getting rid of Rhaegal.
Your choice.
Do you want to rethink that? You didn't see it. You just like, nope, don't have. He's dead. It's like, wow. Yeah, fine.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Looks like Carly's going first.
It's a lot easier, yeah.
Oh, 3 great halls down. Oh, it's it's not a big 7 coster or 6 coster like I thought. It is Strong Belwas. I don't think she's going to do any bestow. She'll sit on 5. And the dragon gets shuffled back in with Olive Ravens from the discard pile. That was just put in there from March. I think it was Viserion.
Just to see what was in there. Okay, that's it.
You want to march on anything?
No, ma'am.
Alright, I'll do military.
Alright, so a military challenge here for 4 with Strong Belwas. I don't think Matt played anything at all. He's got 3 cards in hand. I guess it wasn't the best. At least one of them was a location, it looked like. Maybe we wanted to keep it in there for fodder for or Plaza of Pride.
I've got nothing.
Nothing in there, just making sure.
Just keep them on your side.
I know you want all that.
Looks like he's got a Dragon is no slave in hand.
I'm gonna bring in these. No, that doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. So,
And it goes unopposed military. It's going to put her 2 away from winning.
Unopposed? Okay. Your challenges?
And passes over to Matt for his challenges. She's got nothing in there for Flea Bottom. Second Son's coming in off Flea Bottom on Matt's side. He's going to come in on a power challenge of 6. And that goes unopposed. He's going to use Plasma Punishment to reduce Strong Bell Wasp by 2. He dies if he hits 0. And then a Dragon is no slave to finish him off there. Yeah, looks like he's got Turning Grounds and a Rose Road in hand. Might as well chuck one to stand. Yep. Chuck one to stand for Plaza Pride, which should be knelt. He's going to come in on the middle challenge. Reduce him by 4. So he wins by 2. And unopposed military.
What are you talking about?
So Matt is now up to 7 power. Carly's sitting at 12. And dominance does go to Carly, so she's at 13 now. 2 away from winning again.
I'm having so much fun.
Blast.
And they're back around to the rest of their plots. They've got Marched and Villard O'Hara's pinned. It's the battle of the top decks at this point. But Matt does have 2 Counting Coppers. I'm sure they both probably will play Counting Coppers here. I wouldn't see why not. Both dig. They both have decent economy out on the board. They both need to find cards that are key to their strategies to win this game. Carly needs to find some bodies. And Matt needs to find some more burn cards, I would think. But bodies would help too. Oh, actually it's counting on Matt's side into close call, which is a little bit of draw on Carly's side, but also moves some of her key dead characters out of the dead pile. Like we see Grey Worm and Khal Drogo there at the bottom of the screen. Maybe she's drawn into one of them and needs to get them in play. Or Daenerys.
I'll go first.
Yep, she moves Daenerys. She might have her in hand already. And she gets to draw an extra card off that plot. And she's going to draw 2. Let's see. Battle of the top decks here.
The collection of like 6 cards that I've needed for this entire game that put me back in the game. They're not there. They just don't exist.
Well, they do. I took them. When I never.
Looks like Matt's going first. Gets 4 gold.
I know. You're going to deal with Second Sons the whole game.
I know.
It's the only thing he's been playing.
That's it. That's all I've been able to do. Acid Force killing me.
Yeah, where's your S4?
That's one of the
Matt's looking for his Astapor. Has not seen any of them. He would have loved to see it earlier, but that's what's been helping Carly on her side. I think is the Astapor is keeping her in this, actually keeping her in the lead, but not having a Flea Bottom target. It's just keeping her, slowing her down from winning. But Matt's been unable to get his own going. So we have Drogon marshaled in.
You have 1 gold.
That's it. I got
And he's just sitting on 1, passing over to Carly for her marshalling. I think she's got 6 gold to work with because of the Gates of the Moon. Plus an Illyria's Estate and 3 Great Halls.
Well, if you want, you can export that to a text file. Like when you get home or something, and then just send it to me on Facebook Messenger or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to. I don't know why. Yeah, I know.
What do you got? You got. Oh, is that nothing?
I've
for
got
that? Okay,
nothing.
just making sure.
It's got Al Ravens you want to see it.
That's what publishing comes to. Okay, see if I can do it.
Is Carly going to marshal anything? She's looking at the board, trying to think it through here. Does she have any characters in her hand that aren't dead? Does she have any uniques she can use the Great Halls on? Does she have some events finally now that she wants to save that money for?
I have 6 gold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, Daenerys is back.
Yeah,
Put
see
the
the whole
right
thing.
are the handles first, and then breaker chains.
Read the whole fucking card.
I think you have to, if we're here, you have to actually give all of her. Yeah, give all the titles.
I'll pay
So I think it's over to Matt for his challenges.
It's good. Oh, you play it.
It was one of the sagging for this, but I was like, I'll do rain today.
And Second Son's coming in off Flea Bottom.
So put it together.
He's got to be careful. He needs power to get back in this and win, but he also has to stop Carly from getting 2 power on her side, so he might have to play defensive. But maybe play his offensive to force Carly to play defensive so she has nothing to come back and hit him with. Maybe he can deal with Daenerys and burn her away.
Yeah, neither of us are.
Yeah, neither of
Neither
us
of
are
us
playing
play
nightmares.
nightmares.
All right, Simon.
Jesus.
Ugh.
No.
Especially early. Like, until then, when you drag in summer, one year,
You got me on the ropes here, so take a risk. Take a risk.
Very with
So he's going to do a military challenge, taking a risk, he says. Going in for 8 with Daenerys standing. Astapor is going to bring it down to 4.
Okay, one.
And Daenerys is going down to pay for her Jakaris here, and Second Sons is dead.
No defenders.
And no defenders, and Dany's dead. Again. And it's unopposed, so he's now up to 8 power.
Jack with Isle of Ravens.
And Carly sounds not impressed with the Isle of Ravens all game.
Your turn.
No challenges.
I'll turn it on.
But dominance goes to Carly. She is 1 power away from winning now.
Yeah, he does.
All three. Now it's got all three.
I had to
Oh,
kill
it's
that.
got his game. If you don't win, it's 0.
Now, him playing Nothing Burns Like the Cold right now, actually, would get rid of either Flea Bottom or Astapor. He probably should have did that last round, actually, now that I think about it. But he was looking for cards, so kind of coppers, I guess, makes sense, but...
Okay.
You know it gives you a power.
Oh, I wish.
But I think she would have easily got rid of Flea Bottom, knowing it hasn't really been doing much for her all game because of Isle of Ravens, so maybe that wouldn't be the best play.
You know what you have to play.
No, I don't actually.
And he's going trade route. She's going counting coppers. She's looking for something to put into play. He's looking for money, hopefully top decking something good, and he can put some characters on the board and defend and win some challenges.
9, 10, 11, 12.
Sounds like he's getting 12 gold off locations. Looks like, yeah, looks like 6 on each side. That's a pretty good trade routes hit.
Could be free bottomable. Could be too
He'd be
good.
pretty good.
Could be too good.
Just play Mace and the other trigger.
Oh, I'm sorry that I don't play Terrell. Alright, I'm going first. I've got 3 gold.
Thank you for that apology. It's,
And did you draw 2 yet? I don't believe I haven't drawn my
I
2.
haven't drawn 2
no,
yet.
you only draw your 3.
Let's see it.
So does Carly have something here? Does she have anything to marshal? Can she get an unopposed through with Astapor? Can she put a power icon down and try to win a power challenge? Getting through the Second Sons.
3, 4.
Oh, here we go. 7 cost again. Who was it this time?
Dario?
Dario Naharis. And a Second Son straight up paid for. And that's going to be it. Over to Matt. Does he have any answer to this? Stop her from gaining 1 power.
All that fucker. Yeah, played against him one time. I forgot what he did.
First time Dario's been in play?
Yeah.
Ooh, he's gonna do some things.
Does Matt have anything here? Does he have a way to stop Dario and the Second Sons from getting that last power needed? He's got a handful of cards, though. Does he have what he needs?
Really good for a target. Work for sheep. Sheep. Dragon mercenaries.
Play Storm Cruises.
Storm Crows.
And if you win,
He's going to maybe use, he's bestowing, so he's going to try to...
Storm Cruise, choose X characters till the end of the phase. Each of them gets minus X strength. Oh, minus
No,
one
minus 1
strength.
each.
Oh, okay. So you can only do top one.
Fuck, I
Minus
thought it
one.
was -X.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's
you got it.
each
So he's bestowed 5 on him. But I think that just gets him 5 characters, right?
It's once per base, yeah.
I read that wrong the first time too. Man.
Yeah, it's even worse than I thought.
Yeah,
I already
it's a-
thought it sucked.
it's a
It's
weird
really
variant.
bad. I'll do one during the.
So it's a challenges action. Discard X gold from Stormcrows to choose X characters. Till the end of the phase, each of those gets -1 strength limit once per phase. Oh, he's got Quotho in hand.
Okay, that's it.
So it looks like he's going to try to use the Stormcrows, maybe spend 2 gold from them to get the Second Sons and Dario down to 5 each.
Oh, I have Shadow Black one. Yep. That's it.
So many
I lost
locations, he
track.
doesn't even know.
Yeah.
So Intrigue first with Dario coming in here. No one to defend. Does he have a way to burn Dario down? Or to flea bottom someone in to fully block? I don't think so with Ossipor out there. This does not look good. Oh, but he does have Quotho. Almost forgot about Quotho. Who can come in for 5. Stormcrows can get Dario down to 1, but it's that Astapor. Yeah, he's going to try it. He's got to pitch two cards. I think 2 Targ cards.
What 2 cards?
Shameful. Put the torch in over there.
Does that have to be Targ cards?
2 card cards. Oh.
Yeah, looks like it does. And Matt realizes he's got nothing. And that's it. Congrats to Carly, the Just Games 2018 store champion. Just want to say thanks to all players for playing under the camera over the tournament there. And appreciate Just Games for having us down there. Check out the store if you're in the Rochester, New York area. Guys, check out our Gloomhaven playthrough going on right now at Rob's Gaming Table on YouTube. And we have lots of other board game playthroughs. Lots more Thrones coming up on the channel. Make sure you subscribe and see you in the next one. Thanks a lot.